Hi there. My name's John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer, or the kids' room, or the garage, or list a couple other places. You know how we've been doing it. Thank you so much for your partnership in this ministry and for spending a little bit of time with me this week. This is for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And or Christmas Day. And for the Revised Common Lectionary and the Narrative Lectionary, we're going to talk about the birth of Jesus. That's right, we're getting wild here, talking about the birth of Jesus. I know, comes as a surprise, huh? No. Anyway, it's getting to that point in planning and all that I'm just like, all right, let's go for it. A couple of springboards. A lot of this callbacking. Anyway, caller ID, call or something, call for help. It's a callback from previous Dollar Store Children's Sermons. There's so many springboards in that, but one of the ones that a springboard that I look back to see if I've used this, and I know I've used it in the past in some other children's sermons, so it might be a repeat for some of you. Or I haven't used it, and I think I should have. But a birth announcement is the object I'm thinking about, because there are so many birth announcements in these texts about how the angels show up to the shepherds, show up to the wise men, show up. I bring you tidings. I bring you great joy. I bring you news of a babe that was born in a manger, wrapped in swaddling cloth, etc., etc., etc. So the birth announcement, you can get those at the Dollar Tree, and you could fill it out if you wanted, announcing the birth of Jesus. When we celebrate it on December 24th and 25th, but so that announcement about the birth of Jesus. So that's one of the springboards. Another one that, when I was looking back, that I really like is having a bunch of normal stuff. A bunch of normal stuff. Maybe a box. You got a present, and you open up the present, and in the present is a bunch of socks. Yeah, socks. Or you open it up, and it's a new silverware set. New set of spoons, or a new set of pajamas, or something that's normal that might be given as a gift. And the idea, the springboard around this, is that God is active in the normal stuff of day to day. The fact that God shows up in the middle of in a cave, in a barn, in a place where animals are kept, and there's a manger, and this normal, gritty, dirty stuff. Dirty is in the meant of literally dirt, in this place, and God shows up, Emmanuel, God with us, in the normal, everyday stuff. So there's that springboard, looking at how God shows up. So a package where it's got, you open it, socks, can you believe it? This is the best thing I've ever seen. This is socks. It's amazing socks. And you want to have, if you use socks, you want to do the most standard pair of socks that you could find. A set of 6 dress socks, but they've got to be boring. We're not talking about finding 7 pairs of elf socks. I have a pair of elf socks. Or Spider-Man socks. I've got a pair of Spider-Man socks. Or Bob Ross socks. I got a pair of Bob Ross socks. I got a lot of socks that have got people and different things on it. You get boring, normal, everyday kind of thing. So there's that. The other is the Bible. And this is pulling a quote from Luther. But so we've got all the stuff. We've got a lot of scripture in Christmas Eve and a lot of scripture in Christmas Day, and all of this that we read from here, from the Bible. But this, the written word, points us to the living word. And as Luther would say, and I love the image like this. The Bible is the manger that holds Christ. That in this points us to Jesus. This points us to the God in our midst, points us to Emmanuel, God with us. That the Bible is the manger that holds Christ. That as we read Scripture, as we study the Bible, it points us to Jesus. And that Bible is the manger that holds Christ. So I like that. So a couple of springboards. Now there's a couple others that you can look back at and see about what direction we went on. But the three I'm really looking at, and I'm trying to decide, and I'll probably use this one for Christmas Day, about the Bible being the manger that holds Christ, and then using probably the birth announcement, but maybe both. I don't know, but I like both of them. But I keep getting drawn back to the normal everyday stuff, because there are times that we are looking for the bright and the flashy and the neon miracle, where the miracle is that God of the entire universe and beyond, that God dwells among us in and with and is Emmanuel, God with us, the babe in the manger. The manger, the hay, the animals, the fact that there's no room, all of that, this normal, gritty stuff, God dwells within. All right, so that is the springboards. I'm hoping it can be useful for your own thinking around your children's sermon. And as always, thank you so much for being part of this, being part of the Dollar Store Children's Sermons, being in a 2-degree, 6-degree of Kevin Bacon kind of way, being part of my life. So thank you so much for the work you're doing and for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your families and your congregations. You are rocking it. You are a gift for them. So thank you so much. Thank you all for those of you who have donated to the Dollar Store Children's Sermon. That is a gift that I can't say thank you enough. So thank you very much, and always, we'll see you next week. May your Christmas celebration be full of joy and grace and blessing, and may you meet God in the manger, whether the manger is that wooden manger or the manger looks like this. All right? Thanks. Peace, and we'll see you next week.